Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be doing a review for Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. Now, Shinkenger isn't my first Sentai. My first Sentai is actually Die Ranger. It was the first Sentai I was ever introduced to, and then my second one would be probably Tokumai Sentai Go Busters. That was my probably second one, but those are for a different video. But today we are going to be reviewing Samurai Sentai Shinkenger, the season, the stories, the movies, all that stuff, the cast, stuff like that, and how it was taken and how it was adapted into Power Ranger Samurai. And I might do a separate video where I talk about how Samurai could have been adapted better, how Shinkenger could have been adapted better into Power Rangers. But let's just jump in. So the first thing we gotta talk about is story. Now, when people say that Power Ranger Samurai is literally a direct copy of Shinkenger, they are not joking. Literally, Jaden and Takaru do have the same last name, and Cowardy, and Lauren do have the same name. I hope I didn't butcher Takaru and Kaori's names. But anyway, they literally have the same last name, which is Shiba. So that is that. Takaru and Jaden basically share the same qualities. Kevin, Ryunosuke, same qualities. Chiake, Mike, same qualities. Um, Kotaha, Emily, same character, same qualities. Mako and Mia, same qualities. Gensa, Antonio, same qualities. But Shinkengers are very much different to compared to Samurai. So let's just jump into the first one on our list, which is Red Ranger, aka Shinken Reto. So first off, I love the roll call. The roll call is definitely better than Samurai. Shinkenger definitely fits the Samurai aesthetic better than Power Ranger Samurai did, but the way they did it was better because it's in Japan. It makes sense. But when you have a bunch of American actors trying to be samurai, it doesn't fit right. And I'll go into that later in a video. But anyways, let's talk about Takeru's story and character development. So I'll get to the Shiba plan later, but basically Takaru was not really trying to be stuck up. Like you would think that he's a stuck up lord, but he's not really. He's a very serious person, and he takes his fight to the Gedoshu very seriously as the world is in danger. Um, and of course, it's not out of like, oh, I have to do it because I have to do it. No, it is literally him trying to protect the world because it is his duty, his quote unquote duty. When even when he does meet the other Shinkencers, he tells them, "I'm not gonna be here to have y'all drag me down, and I'm not gonna make y'all do something like fight the Gedoshu if you don't want to. If you don't want to fight the Gedoshu, you don't have to. You can walk away. But now is your chance. I want you to do it out of want instead of need." That was basically Takuru's motif, and that was what he was known for. And plus, Takuru's fighting is just badass in all aspects. When he leads the team, it is just incredible. Like, even when he's in the Megazord mode, he's like, yo, focus up. We still have to get Dodo fight. And he literally takes his leadership role to the perfect level, and I love it so much. He's not necessarily the comedic type of leader like you got in Sasuke from Go Ranger or Geki from Geki Ranger, but he is serious in a way where it's so new to Super Sentai, and it's so new to see in a Sentai, where it's like, wow, this guy really is about the hands, and he literally is the definition of standing on business. Now let's head into Runosuke. Yunosuke is basically the Lord's second command. He is Shinken Blue. Now, for Shinken Blue, he isn't necessarily okay. Like he does, he does suck Takaru's dick just like Kevin does. But there are some moments that, in my personal opinion, does develop his character development, and that is when he goes against Takaru in certain aspects. Like during when Cowardly was coming into becoming Shinken Red and the Lord, he was conflicted at first because he didn't know if he follows the true Lord, which is Cowardly, or follow the Lord that he had been fighting with, which was Takaru. That was what I loved. The fact that there is a difference between Kevin and Ryunosuke. Because I don't think there was a time where Kevin went against Jaden in anything, but Ryunosuke is willing to go against Takaru in certain things. Like in a certain episode where Ryunosuke is trying to tell Takaru, yo, you gotta consider Kotaha's feelings because she isn't strong enough. That doesn't mean she's worthless. But Takaru's like, bitch, doing your best won't save lives. If she's worthless, you gotta stay on the floor. But I love that Runosuke was willing to stand up to Takaru, who he was taught to worship. That is what I like. That a person that was meant to worship somebody so much to go against what that person thinks, is fantastic because it shows that he's not just some guy that's going to dick suck the Lord 24/7. He is willing to step out of his own, he's willing to step out against the Lord to achieve in order to just be in order to just like literally be a team player. He's not just gonna suck the Lord's dick. He's not doing that. And I'm sorry if that's like a derogatory term or if I'm saying something bad. But what I'm trying to basically say is that Ryunosuke is willing to go out of his way to show that maybe the Lord isn't right sometimes, and there sometimes needs to be somebody else that can take their reins or make sure that the team sticks together. Because there were some points where I thought the team was gonna break up, and it specifically happens with Ryunosuke and Chiaki. Speaking of Chiaki, let's turn into Chiaki. So Chiaki is basically the rebel, but he does have incredible character development. At the end of the season, um, he definitely does grow as a person. At the beginning, he starts a little bit arrogant. He's like, "Man, I get like, bro, I'm not trying to do this. Like, this is like, bro, like, I'm not even willing to like literally do simple power all day." He makes fun of G like 24/7. But Chiake definitely does grow. He starts to grow more of the fact to respect Takeru. Because at the beginning, he didn't give a fuck what Takeru was saying. He didn't care. But when certain events happened, that was when he was like, okay, now I have to be serious because he realized that yo. Sometimes this Takeru dude may not even be that bad. It might just be my fault or my problem or my issue. I have to deal with it. There were certain points where you could tell that Chiake was growing. Um, but honestly, I liked it a lot. The fact that Chiake was against Takeru, he wasn't just like with Takeru at the beginning. I loved it. I loved that the fact that Chiake was sort of the rebel, but he does get his character development up during the end. He becomes more of a team player and he starts to respect Takeru even more, which I do like. Then we have Mako. I always forget her name. Shirai Shimako. Yeah, Shirai Shimako. Shinken Pink. Shinken Pink. Mako. First of all, fine as fuck. I gotta say, she is a baddie. I don't care what anybody says. She is a baddie. But anyway, speaking of her, she is a good character for Taku. People ship her and Taku together, but they also ship Kotahai and Taku together. Which is honestly, I gotta get into that in a different video. But anyway, that's beside the point. Mako is very much self-disciplined. She doesn't dick suck the Lord like Yunosuke does, but she does follow the Lord's lead. But she's not the type of person to literally just stay there and be following the Lord. She is willing to do her own shit. She will literally fight 1,000 shoes by herself. She does not care. She does not care. As long as she gets her point across, she does not care. The running gag where Mako can't cook, funny. I like it a lot. I love the actors in this Sentai. The actors, I feel like they chose perfectly. I think they choose it. I don't know how acting works in Japan or something like. I only know how it works in America, but that's not even me trying to be like not racist or anything. But anyway, Mako is definitely a good character. I love the fact that she's not that soft, but she is kind of. She's not soft, but she's also not hard. She's not like, oh, I'm serious all the time like Takaru, and she's not soft like Kotaha is. She is willing to be soft for her teammates, and she is willing to make sure that she is sort of a big sister to everybody. She's a big sister to Takaru even sometimes. And the development with her and Takaru is amazing. I loved it a lot. Mako-chan, incredible. Then we have Kotaha. Kotaha gets shipped to Takaru too, but I can't really see that much, but there's definitely a little fan art of it. But anyway, people, I wouldn't like, okay, when I first had watched Shinkenger, I would see Kotaha as the weakest one, but as the season went on, she started to hold her own, especially when she got the Inomaru, the super mode. Absolutely incredible. She was going ham on those fight scenes. She was going crazy. Like when she turned into Inomaru and went, she was going off. And I loved how they made Kotaha seem so weak, but but once it becomes known that she is strong, she can hold her own. I love it because she goes absolutely insane in every single scene or fight scene. Kotaha, she's tough. She is tough. And I like how she's cute at the same time. Like she's literally swinging her sword, but like she's she's so cute with it, which is making it's funny, but it's just so adorable. Like you don't want anything bad to happen to her. And when she does get her like soul or something like that ripped out of her due to the not Gedoshu, like you could tell how the team was so concerned about because Kotaha is the heart of the Shinkengers, which I absolutely love. Um, Now let's head into the final Shinkenger, Genta. Genta is the childhood friend of Takaru. Now I do love Genta's story, how he was able to become a samurai all on his own. At first, no one respected him. I don't even think Takaru had respected him as a Gold Ranger. But it was only until he proved himself on the battlefield, which was a nice touch. Um, I like how Genta was able to I just like how Genta like was able to sort of come out of his shell. Like he wasn't just like, oh, I'm a samurai, but I'm also a sushi chef. And also, the actor that plays Genta, fantastic. He is so animated, like he the way his expressions are is incredible. But Genta's story in Shinkenger is incredible. How he becomes this lone stranger, but then becomes part of the team. He kind of felt like it was him and Takaru at some time because Takaru, due to the Shiba plan, which I'll get into soon, it was basically to show that Genta and Takaru had this bond that wasn't just spanning through childhood, but now that they're both Shinkengers, they have a different respect for each other, which I like. Now let's talk about the Shiba plan real quick. Because the Shiba plan is nothing like the Shiba plan in Power Ranger Samurai. So basically, the Shinken Red, I think he's the 16th head of the Shinkenger. This is not Takaru's father. I'll try and explain this as best I can. But basically, during the fight against the Gadoshu, the 16th head, wait, is it the 16th or 17th head? One of them. He is losing the fight, and he has to learn the ceiling pad. But he's like, we won't win this fight. We have to entrust our abilities to the next generation, which is his unborn daughter, which is Kaoru. Kaoru is the actual Shinken Red. She is the actual Lord. But the Geldoshu wouldn't wait that long because the seal that the Karu's father had used, it wasn't strong enough to seal Doku, which is the Master Xandrid of Shinkenger. So Doku was sent back into the Sanzu River, but Kaoru's father had died, so his plan was to bring in a Kage Musha. A Kage Musha basically means a shadow man, and basically Takeru was the shadow man. So Takeru doesn't have any type of Shiba blood in him, but he was able to train so hard in order to get the fire Mojikata, basically the fire abilities and the simple power of fire. Takeru was able to train so hard in order to get that. He has no Shiba blood. He's basically an adopted kid, and he was only brought in to become the Red Ranger until Gauru had learned the symbol power to take down Doku. Takaru was basically a stand-in, and when the other Rangers find this out, you kind of feel bad because it's like, damn, this dude Takaru really he wasn't being like how he was. He like you could tell like he wasn't trying to bond with his teammates because he knew that he couldn't bond with them because he wasn't the true Shinken Red. But then when you see him actually lay down his arms and actually lose like the Inomaru, the discs, all that, you can feel it in the team and you can also feel it. Like you're like, damn, they really just kicked this guy out after all the bonds and all the work that he did. And he knew it in the back of his head too, and you could see it. Like once he goes and once like he goes and like leaves, you can tell that shit hurt the other Shinkengers. It even hurt G as well. And Tanba's bitch ass don't make it any better either. Tanba's like, oh, for a fake samurai, he actually did that pretty well. And like, bro, we're like, shut the fuck up. You're not fucking dumb. Like, bro, we had to do everything, and you're gonna talk, and now you wanna bring her in? Now you wanna bring her here? Symbol power my ass. Like, I could go on a whole rant about how Garu is the pussiest. She's badass. I'm not gonna lie. Garu is a badass samurai, is a badass Shinkenger. But it's the fact that how, okay, so she was working so hard to get the ceiling symbol, but when she got it, she now decides to fight? Like, it doesn't make sense. You're a Shinkenger, aren't you? You should be able to fight with the Rangers at least. At least do some Gedo fighting on the side, you know? Like, I don't want, like, that just did, because it basically was like, oh, Gaoru's here, kick the fuck Takaru. And Takaru literally is about, like, literally, if it wasn't like literally, like he would kill himself. Like he would literally kill himself. Like he when he would go against Juzo in the final battle in the like season finale, when he went against Juzo, he was willing to die because he had no purpose now because he wasn't Shinken Red. And Juzo was like, there's nothing more than the blade. And this dude Takaru literally was about to give his life up. Literally, they are in a flaming circle, and Takaru is literally about to let himself get burnt by it until the other Shinkenger save him. And then when you see Takaru break down, That scene is just incredible. You could see how much Takaru was holding back, but when he finally lets those tears go out, it is an incredible scene to watch. And you could tell that even though everything the Shinkengers at that point had been through, they still cared about Takaru, even if he wasn't even the Shinken Red. They still cared about him, and I love that. And I love how Gaoru recognized this and even let Takaru become Shinken Red by adopting him. Kaoru literally adopts Takaru, and it is the best thing in that show. That was fire. I like how as soon as Takaru goes, he gets in his chair and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm back." And this dude Tombo was so pissed, but I was like, "Yeah, get it, yeah, attaboy Takaru, shut him up, shut him up." And like that was like awesome. That I love that so much, and I like how Gensa goes after him because he doesn't have to abide by authority. He's not a true Shinkenger. He could go with Takaru because Takaru and him are outcasts now. But I loved it. I love Shinkenger just for the fact of how they treated its characters. I love the dynamics between each Shinkenger. I love the relationship Takaru shares with the Mako. I love it. Mako and Takaru are perfect for each other. You could tell how much Mako cares about about Takaru, not even on a romance front or a professional front, but how much he values him as a not even only as a lover, but also as someone that she can run to when she needs to. Same thing goes for Kotaha. Taku just got rich, to be honest, but it just you could tell how much Mako loves Taku, not just because he would live and lay down his life, but because she's seen him as someone that he feels like he's not willing to fight for it, but Mako is definitely going to fight for him, which I absolutely love. Taku and Mako for life, y'all. Let me know in the comments who y'all ship more, Takeru with Mako or Takeru with Kota. Let me know. But yeah, Shinkenger Fire. The villains, the Gedoshu, honestly pretty good. Instead of medicine, Master Zenju is drinking. Doku is drinking rum. But yeah, Doku's not really menacing until the final season. Who's actually menacing is Serrator. I don't know his Shinkenger name, but Serrator, he is a menace in Shinkenger. He's an absolute menace. He turns Dayu and Juso into Nylok, into Gyadoshu, but they were willingly willing to become Nylok, Gyado, which is fucking crazy to me. But yeah, Dayu's story and Juzo's story, fantastic. Um, when specific scenes happen in Shinkenger, it's incredible. I highly recommend this Sentai. It's a good Sentai to watch, and I definitely recommend it. Um, the plots are incredible. The way the motions, like the way the fight scenes go down too, incredible. The crossovers with Go Sager and Go Onger, fire. Shinkenger is definitely those Sentais that people love. Like you cannot hate Shinkenger as much as you hate other Super Sentais. But that's my review of Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. It is an absolute 10 out of 10. The story is well done. The character development, the characters' personalities, incredible. The cast, fantastic. The acting, the lines, the scripts, all that. The direction Shinkenger was going in, incredible. The gimmicks as well with the origami, fantastic. The Gedoshu, fire. You could tell that they were literally a threat sometimes. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Love Shinkenger. Let me know what you guys think about Shinkenger, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what other Sentai y'all want me to cover next.